right, hello, willkommen, bienvenue, konnichiwa. It's time for the Armist Inquisition, episode 308, with myself, Phil.
I am also here, Ben.
And Matt.
And we're very happy to be joined again by our mate, Noble. Is there a dancer in the house?
Bonjour, hola, shalom. How are we, gentlemen?
Very good. Very good to have Dr. Redpill on the line.
Indeed. The prescription pad has been fully used, so I'm waiting for replenished stocks to arrive, gentlemen.
That sounds ominous. It's been a
It
busy
certainly
year.
does.
It's been a busy year of red pilling, has it, for you, Noble?
Yeah. This, as Pinky says, I do it every damn day.
I saw some.
Not trying to take the
Sorry, go on, mate.
not trying to take the world over, but as you say, producing, manufacturing, and distributing these red pills.
Yeah, there's something in your like show notes about hashtag. Is it everyone teach 12 or something? Have I got
Okay, each one teach 12. So I have advanced the old saying of each one teach one. So obviously you get the information and pass that on to another person. Because we're so late in the game, and some would say we are indeed in the last days, I have took it upon myself to say, oh, no, we can't just give it to one person. We need to give it to as many people as possible. So I thought the optimum number, I'd say, would be 12.
I'm not sure I know 12 people, Noble.
Well, I'm sure the 6 people you know another 6.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there. You can throw the obstacles. You can create the speed humps. You can build the walls. But we're getting over them, sir.
We need to get you a sandwich board.
Sandwich board,
Can
yeah.
march down the street in your village, saying the end is nigh.
Yes, yeah, I could do that.
Just throwing red pills out into the air.
You've already done that this
No,
week, haven't you?
I was going to say, come on, guys. Didn't you see the video?
It's like Die Hard.
Top trending on Twitter, I would say, sir.
Yeah, it's a good sort of philosophy. And, I've not heard it anywhere else. Is that an original Noble conception?
Oh, indeed. I definitely created that moniker.
It's Phil, not Monica.
Funny you mentioned Monica. Didn't you? Haven't you had some trouble with Monica, a video you did with her?
Exactly, yeah.
That's bizarre.
It seems like the old boob tube, aka YouTube, are historically going through material. Ricky and Monica and Jamie Deluxe, who I need to get in contact with. Those are and good old Dave Murphy. Those are the main people I've got to be very careful when I put content out relating to them.
Really? So it's Monica
Yeah.
Perez. Is it the Prop Report, her show?
Propaganda report,
Yeah.
yes, and deep dives.
That's the one. Yeah, we really should talk to Monica. She's a
Oh,
base
yeah.
Sigma Chad.
I'll facilitate that if required, gentlemen, most definitely.
Yeah. Is it the usual terms and service violations with no sort of clarity as what you've what
No
thought
clarity
crime
whatsoever.
you've committed?
Yes. The standards, automatic generated, yes. Community guidelines, medical misinformation. You cannot even yet utter a phrase, sentence, or word that has anything to do with the zombie apocalypse. We cannot do that. You're in danger, of opening up the minds of all the young people and middle-aged and old people who will stumble across, even though we're shouting ballying the hell out of your channel, they may stumble across this and hear you talking and raising some questions.
Well, because we're dangerous extremists, you see.
So extreme. I mean, we are, a proud badge we can wear. We can wear a proud badge to say we're some of the most banned and censored content creators within the UK.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because you get certain people like Mr. Brand, Dr. John Campbell, or Nurse Gladys, as the Sheep Farm boys call it, And they seem to have no trouble getting to 2.5, 3 million subscribers.
Didn't start off that way though. In terms of the content they're putting out now, is that what you mean?
Oh, do you mean it as far as their own perspective? So
at the beginning, Nurse Gladys was very on point, wasn't he?
Yes, as far as the magic juice goes.
Yeah, and he was very much for everything, wasn't he?
Yeah, but even though he's flipped his messaging, he's not really been punished. He's had the odd video taken down, I think.
Too big to fail now.
He's like Barclays.
Has he made more money after he flipped the message? Then is that?
I don't know.
That's the cynic in me.
Is he on 2.5 million subs or something now?
Something like that, yeah. But I mean, I would say that the majority of them were gained before he sort of changed his tune. I don't know. You'd have to sort of go back and see what sort of viewership his videos were getting, today, rather than, in 2021, early 2021, when they were rolling certain things out. So it's hard to say.
It does raise, as you gentlemen are discussing, it does raise, questions, doesn't it? And it's all about asking questions. I mean, in our realm, but in the sheeple and the lemmings, you don't ask questions. You just, you continue with the directives. But it does raise questions. So we had a polarizing figure who was celebrated for being as we would say, a coxman, a man who likes to throw it about a bit. And he was quite, I wouldn't even say quite, he was very, very, very overt with it. Now, because of our age range, we can all recall, seeing him going from Channel 4 to BBC to IT, floating all over the place, award shows, movies, all this kind of stuff.
I always knew he was a wrong end.
There's some of his, when some of the stuff's come out, and but the problem is it goes back to like some of his old material, and some of it is just like it's just not even funny what he's talking about.
Oh no,
it is based.
It's the Jim Davidson effect.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting, Noble, that the reason he had this fall from grace was that he was targeted because of what he was putting out in more recent times with his messaging?
No, I'm hypothesizing that, as it's the good old boys club, right? They don't just throw people out just for no reason, unless you've done something very bad and you'll actually do time for that. What they will tend to do is if you slip up, or indeed you might just put your hand in there for the lottery. Oh, sugar, I've got the ball today. Yeah, sorry, Russell. See, what it is, you're going to have to take we created this wonderful thing. It's so wonderful, gentlemen and ladies. It's called Me Too. It's very, very powerful. And what we've got to do to maintain that, we need to feed the beast. And unfortunately, you're going to be next. And so we're going to give you a little bit of time. And also another good thing, Russell, is, we're paying you all this money at the moment. You'd probably get maybe 20 million or something like that for 50 million. Okay, we're going to reduce that down a little bit, and we're not going to give it to you directly. What you can do is you join the grifters community, and what you do is you talk about like alternative media stuff. So anything that we discuss, you come at a different angle, and I'm telling you, Ross, you're gonna blow. You're gonna be massive. This is what we see. I mean, guys, is he dropping any jewels? Is he building any fortresses, or is he just saying stuff that we heard and found out about in 2001? Like, come on. He's not in reinventing the wheel per se.
No, it's just a man with a platform, you see, and he has that. He already has that sort of public standing. He's already a known face, and he's charismatic. People like him. I know he's very divisive. Some people hate his guts, but a lot of people enjoy consuming what he puts out, even if it is kind of like a bit old news to a lot of us.
Times and places, gentlemen, times and places, right? So his audience, I would say, and no disrespect to them, they're just wiping the sleep out of their eye at the moment, aren't they?
Right. I know
They've
what you
gone
mean.
through the zombie apocalypse, and then like, oh my, wait a minute, that guy who looks like a sturgeon, yeah, he's making some sense here. And he used to be in with the big boys and in that crowd, and now he's separated himself, gentlemen. He's doing hot yoga, and he's against the wall upside down. The deep breathing, the tantric breathing, like, oh, the Kundalini energy, gentlemen. I love it. It's the Kundalini. And you see the New World Order, guys, right? It's the New World Order. And there's a big Illuminati, guys. And they're crazy. They're fucking crazy. They're out to kill us all. I got a mate named Joe Rogan, right? And he's really cool. I'm mates with him. That was my impression. I'm crap with impressions.
It's like Phil's.
Yeah. Joe Trojan, as someone once called him.
Oh.
Trojan horse. And he keeps having that his CIA handler on, that Mike guy. The guy who works in the intelligence agency, who he seems to have on every month, pretty much. He goes, oh, thank God you're here, Mike, because tell me what's going on in the world. What's happening with Palestine? Like, well, here's how it is, Joe. And, you know, utter tens of millions of people broadcasting. He used to work for the CIA, so obviously he's no connections with them now.
Oh, no. That's old. That's past. That's in the past, remember, guys? That's in the past. You know. I mean, Ho Hogan, as you know, that's what I refer to him. Mr. Ho Hogan. He was, and he still serves a very good purpose for some people. I haven't consumed Joe Rogan's content in probably almost coming up to probably 4 years. I've totally switched off from that guy.
Yeah.
He's, you know, again, I respect, you know, certain things that he's done, the level of success he's got. But, you know, gentlemen, when you study something and you watch somebody and you watch the growth and the development, sometimes it's in a really good direction. Other times you're like, oh, my God, I really preferred you when you was originally fresh. You was bringing this sort of information and content. Now it's kind of like, what has Mr. Ho Hogan sort of morphed into?
Yeah, it's stale.
More power to people who want to take psychedelic drugs. More power to you guys.
I remember back in the early days when he was having people like Peter Duesberg on, like really controversial people.
Real doozy.
A real doozy of a Duesberg, yeah. And there's no way he would get away with that. Well, he had the Alex Jones ones taken down, didn't he?
Yeah.
When after he joined Spotify, they went back retroactively and removed his shows with Alex Jones. Yeah.
I know the other one I heard about was the one about the perpetual motion or unlimited
Malcolm Bendall.
that was recent.
motor thing that apparently got recorded but never released.
They recorded it. Him and Randolph Carlson went.
Well, I wonder what else. You know
That's just what we hear about.
exactly. Yeah.
What else
So what
doesn't make the ends
Yeah.
up on the cutting floor.
and even from the past as well. You know, before he was big. I remember I went back to I think it was to see the first Randall Carlson interview, and it was Joe in his like office at home, basically by himself, with like a little shitty webcam, talking to him. Production quality was so bad I couldn't listen to it.
That must have been pre-Red Band days.
Yeah, but it's I suppose it has changed, hasn't it? Where he's taken it from doing it in his house to what it is now and selling it and all the rest of it.
Yeah, I don't like you. I will if there's a particular guest who I know. Like I listened, he did one with Graham Hancock recently, and I listened to that one, and it was pretty boring, to be honest. There wasn't any
The last few with him have been a bit sort of rehashy.
Well, the thing is, he was meant to do that debate.
Yeah.
Graham Hancock was meant to debate this archaeologist, but unfortunately he's been struck down with cancer. But they'd already booked the date.
The Robert Kennedy Jr. one was interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
That's the he has the raspy voice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has something. He has something wrong with his.
Oh shit! I was not to light over here.
Yeah.
That book about Fauci that was very popular. A couple of years ago.
There we go. Yes. You know what, gentlemen? It sounds awfully bad, but I just can't sit through listening to him.
Yeah.
No, it
What's
takes a
gonna
while.
happen?
Yeah, I said that too.
I almost feel like I want to help him get the word out, kind of thing. Like, come on, is it this? What like? And he's yeah, and
It does sound like he just needs to cough, but it is like a proper medical issue. It's
On,
something,
yeah.
it's to do with his brain, I think.
Yeah, I think it might have been I think it was a reaction to a medication.
Is that a brain injury?
Yeah, I think so.
And people are hanging on his
So
every
what
word.
about do you remember I'm going back to like the 90s and stuff, but you got those like people when you'll remember these guys. Remember when they was trying to scare the hell out of smokers, and there were people with the holes in their throats and stuff, yeah, and then
Like
had
on
the
Alan
little voice
Partridge.
box.
Hello, Alan.
Yeah.
I love it when you talk to me like that.
Yeah, it's all computerized and stuff. Obviously, look, we're in the Gregorian year, almost of 2024. Like, surely we've got some sort of technology that could be like, and would replicate his voice and just boom it out there for him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Be expensive though, won't it?
For
You might have
RFK.
had that.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's his voice, though. It's his voice.
He'll be able to afford it when he's president.
Well, yeah. Of Tahiti.
No, he's independent now. I think he's
Sea
left the Democrats and he's running as an independent now.
Yeah,
so,
good luck.
Yeah, it's never gonna-
Orange Man 2024.
Well, I've been saying it for years, but yeah, the Orange Man is the only candidate who stands a sniff. The other side don't have a candidate. They're too scared.
The orange pervert we're talking about.
Yeah, grab him by the meat flaps.
Okay, that's an excellent segue, gentlemen. What are your thoughts on the theatre over there in the belly of the beast, aka the wilderness of North America? Yeah, like what's going on? Like what do you think will be manifested?
I don't know. It's just a bit of a very weak leader, I suppose, and then the vice president as well. She seems a bit like a buffoon.
I love her. I love Kamala Harris and her Venn diagrams.
Yeah,
It's great. She's good value. I would love. Obviously, Biden isn't going to run again. It's just a matter of time. I think he thinks he's going to run again, but the Democratic Party have already made their mind up that he isn't. So whether they're just buying time and hoping that he dies, or they're going to find some other way to get him out, whether that be through his son and his nefarious activities, or some other way to get him out of the way and to make way for Gavin Newsom or whoever they decide is going to be the candidate.
Is there a third party?
Yeah, there's the Libertarian Party.
Is that like the Lib Dems?
It's a two-point system like ours.
Who would be the face of the Libertarian Party?
I don't know. There is one though, isn't there? Is it? It's not Gary Taubes, is it?
Never heard of him.
I think he's an author who wrote a book about sugar, actually. No, I don't know, but there is a Libertarian
You've got
Party
6 of his books.
with a leader, but
Demerara, cast it.
I can't
that's it.
I
Yeah.
can't see anyone getting past the Orange Man at this point in time.
No,
Well, I
Yeah,
make for interesting news anyway. If the
It's
Orange Man
great.
does
It's
get in.
great for the podcast.
it is. Isn't
He's
it?
great value, just like Biden and Kamala have been. We've had so many clips, you know.
Dog-faced pony soldier. You
Risk more cases and more deaths.
The good value. So it's a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned.
It is. I think it is just. It shows how much of a farce it is that someone like that can be propped up all the way to the top job.
Weekend at Bernie's.
And you know, he's barely alive, isn't he? Barely competent. Barely can string a sentence together.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Hunter's laptop. That's an interesting story I listened to that on. I think it was the woman who wrote the book was on Jordan Peterson's podcast. So that's an interesting listen.
You mean the Russian disinformation about Hunter's laptop?
Yeah, crazy. But you know, like you said, and having all that in the background, and him still be in power or still managing to get into office because that broke, didn't it? That was the big thing. Sorry, wasn't it? Nobody would print it.
Twitter, Facebook, they all
Said no.
They all marked it as disinformation and removed it from their platforms.
Crazy.
on behalf of a request of, I think, the FBI. So the deep state basically said, "Whoa, we can't have this story coming out 2 weeks before an election. You need to."
And with
That's
it being
what-
such a tight election as well, it would have obviously swung it.
Yeah, could have done. We'll never know.
No.
Has anyone thought about what a weird word disinformation is? Because
It's
I
just
mean, it's just
information.
information. Yeah,
It's the
what you
wrong
should
kind of
have
information.
Is, well, you could say it's not verified. This is not verified information. It's still information.
That's what BBC verifies for, isn't it?
Exactly.
With the woman who lied on her CV.
Giant iPhones.
Yeah.
Mariella Spring.
Yeah.
That's not verified information, is it?
Oh, I don't know. I've got two sources now. Is it two?
It's not disinformation. It's information.
Yeah. All information is information. It's up to
Data.
you to
This
decide.
data is not compiled, or I don't know how you would put it. But disinformation seems like the opposite of information, but it isn't.
It was like when,
De-information.
That's almost like extracting information. Well, that's what YouTube are doing. It's getting rid of it altogether.
Yeah.
we played the clip of Jacinda Ardern, the former Prime Minister of New Zealand, when she was giving that press conference and saying that, you know, we will be your one and only source of truth.
Yes.
And that's what it's about. That's what the disinformation and misinformation. Well, it's like conspiracy theory, made up term.
Was it the FBI or CIA?
CIA.
Which alphabet group? CIA. Yeah, it's these labels and boxes and these the powers that should have never ever have created such a you gotta kind of. Sometimes I sit back, not sometimes, a lot of the times when I have these conversations, I sit back and I marvel of how blatant. Well, not even blatant. How perfect their plan is working for the masses who are asses, who are lemmings, who are sheep. Everything is self-perpetuating. Everything now. There's no real coercion that's needed now. It's just put it out. We've got all the change agents. We've got the grifters out. They do our bidding.
I think even conspiracy theory is better than disinformation because you have a theory that there is a conspiracy, but you're not saying that there is not a conspiracy when you're labeling something as a conspiracy theory. Whereas disinformation, you are labeling it as not information.
Yeah. This is not information. Don't even bother looking at
exactly, which is far worse than calling something a conspiracy theory.
Now, for me, when I see those things, like sometimes you just you look at your home page and stuff. When I see you can't view this post, I want to see what that post is.
Yeah.
Like what are they blocking that for? And you look at it, and a lot of the times you're thinking, well, why would you put that up for that little bit of information? What again? 40% of the time, you're like, wow, I can see why they plot this out. They don't want to show this stuff.
Yeah. Peeping behind the curtain, that's what that's all about.
Yeah, prohibition, isn't it? It never works, and it just heightens people's curiosity sometimes. People like things that are hidden.
Which is, I
reveal.
think that is why. I mean, when we started this podcast, and before, I knew what a conspiracy theory was when I was 12. Aliens and watching X-Files and all that shit. I think that's why it's so fervent in the imagination of a lot of people on the internet now, because of that wanting to peek behind the curtain, because it is being kept away. Yeah. Whereas previously it wasn't. It was just, it wasn't even talked about, really.
Well, you didn't have any access to information. We have freedom of information requests now, and the internet has democratized, or it has done, up until recently, it democratized access to information. Countries all over the world now are wising up to this and trying to crack down. Like we've got the online safety bill in the UK, and there's various different.
Dangerous.
What
are your thoughts on that?
It's already gone through.
I know. I'm saying it's very dangerous, and they're all talking about the children, and of course we need to protect the children. Of course we need to protect the children.
Please think of the children.
Yes, the children. They'll need protecting, of course. I mean, let's create a society, gentlemen and ladies, where we give our children, or as some people call them, our kids, our little baby goats, we give them a pocket computer in their hand and don't give them any guidance. Don't put any parental controls on there. These youths, these little youngsters at primary school have iPhones.
Yeah.
And I mean literally iPhones, not Android phones, not like a little, like a dummy phone as we would call it now, where it's buttons.
There's nothing wrong with Android.
There is.
Oh, no. Come on, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. But the point is, they've got access to this stuff now. Just think about, let's rewind. Let's get Marty and Doc. We've kicked them out of the DeLorean. We've put an extra 2 seats in the back. And we're going back to when we was in junior school. We've got pocket computers in our possession, okay?
I had a solar-powered calculator.
I had a Game Gear, a Sega Game Gear with a TV tuner on it, and I thought that was amazing because I could sneakily watch telly.
That still is amazing.
At night. It is, right?
I'm still a little bit jealous of that. No, that would have been amazing.
You can see where the money was flowing up north, eh? You know what I mean? I didn't have that.
Yeah, the point is that the government stepped in to do parents' jobs because the parents wouldn't do it. So, kids shouldn't have unfiltered access to social media and the internet at the age of 10. They're not ready for it. They're not mature enough.
Earlier, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I just picked a number out of the name. But, I don't think they should have it till they're 18. I think that's fair for me.
Okay.
That would be my sort of rule I'm going to try and stick with.
18, okay. Ben, what's your age?
Unfiltered access.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah. I don't even have unfiltered access.
Ben's been to some dark places on the internet. Do you remember steakandcheese.com?
Oh, I do remember Steak and Cheese. There was what was the other one? A really horrible Rotten.com.
Yeah.
Awful.
Rotten. Oh my
Jesus
days!
Christ.
Yes. Digging it. What was the wearing? Steak and cheese. I don't remember that one. What on earth was that?
Steak and
Gore,
Cheese,
weren't it?
Yeah, it was just things rotting. There was like a time lapse of a rotting steak on it, I think, and then it just grew into something else. Basically.
Wow.
That's how it
Okay.
started. Yeah, but it was like, there was another one. Was it Live Leak? Was a recent one.
Life League.
I think
Yeah.
that got shut down, didn't it?
Because of the.
But the evolution of, I mean, let's just think of what we've just mentioned there. The early days of the internet, time-lapse footage of rotting meat versus Live Leak, where they're putting up beheadings and all kind of debauchery, okay?
Yeah.
Like, that's akin to, do you remember the videos, I think, was it Faces of Death? You remember that VHS that was going around?
Similar era, wasn't it? The Steak and Cheese and Rotten.com.
Yeah, like late 90s, I would have said.
Yeah.
What was this?
It's
Faces of Death.
God,
Yeah.
why did you not share it with me?
Fuck me.
What was it, that one?
I think I
The
saw a
Faces
guy.
of Death? Dead people.
There was a guy getting run over by a steamroller in that I remember vividly.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, awful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how are
awful
these
shit.
filmed? Are they like executions or something?
With a handy cam, I imagine.
Yeah, with a Sony cam, come on.
And there's
like,
no AI
there was,
or anything or
What?
Photoshop in them days.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But what is it? Are they like executions or are they like happened?
Some were executions. There were literally some were fire squaddy. They were literally tied up to
Right.
flipping like stakes in the ground and just mercilessly shot.
Industrial
There was-
accidents for some.
Right,
Wasn't
okay.
there one,
Yes.
a woman getting hit by a train?
Isn't that Hostel?
Oh, film.
That's Hostel, right?
And you watched this VHS, Ben?
It was on Steak and Cheese or Rotten.com.
Right,
something.
right, okay.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't like someone came around with a
I was going to
unlabeled
say, I thought you went you go to that
Betamax.
paper shop that me and Phil used to frequent.
Sketchy.
Under the counter video. Like,
Yeah.
listen, lads, don't show anybody this video.
This isn't what I ordered.
It was going to be a Chinese fella changing his masks loads of times, Faces of Death.
Yeah.
So the,
But
I
yeah,
mean, the
again,
internet
it's-
was fucked up back then, but not as much as it is now. I guess is there, or there's more. There's more fucked
It's the
upness, right? It's
access.
grown.
I think I think it's the thing is, like Phil probably summed it up, didn't you? You know, I think it comes down to parents really to police it in some kind of way for your child, and you know, set some boundaries around access to the internet. And you know, like most social media, they say you got to be 13 anyway, but nobody ever abides by that.
No, and it's not old enough anyway, I would say.
No.
Exactly. I mean, was it BB or something like that, which was a social media network created for children? What the F are you talking about? Children don't need an internet-related social network. They go to school and they've got their friends. That's it. What are we doing? And then as parents, and it's so disheartening, and I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated, gentlemen, that parents who are our age and who are older have allowed this. Oh, little Timmy, yeah, man, come on, I'm getting you the iPhone 99. Yeah.
But what is it though? Because is it just that they don't? Maybe they've had a more sheltered online experience. They don't realize.
They don't care,
because we've been talking about steak and cheese and stuff. We know about all it takes is one horrific link in a WhatsApp message, and your kid can be watching a beheading video. Yeah. Are some people just completely unaware that stuff is even on the internet? Some parents,
they don't care.
They just don't care.
I think it's apathy. Yeah,
they don't. They really don't care. They listen. Now we've got to look at all of the factors relating to this. This is a very long conversation, but I'm going to condense it in as concisely as possible.
You've got 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Go. Parents are working. God knows how many hours. You wake up in the morning. You've got your children. Okay, I've dropped you off at school. Okay, I'm going to work. Okay, after club cool. Okay, yeah. We're gonna go to McNasty's. Okay, here's your Happy Meal. We get home. Okay, well, hey, little Timmy, I'll put the dinner in the oven. It's gonna. Actually, forget that. They don't even do that anymore. So they've gone to McNasty's, yeah. They've had the little snack, and then they get home. Yeah. What do you want from delivery? I'm gonna order in about an hour's time. Yeah, I'll text you, Mum. I'm upstairs. I'm playing Souls of Death or what's that shit? I don't even know what they're playing these days, man. Some killer shit. First person, killing, shooting. I'm killing people. I've got my headset on. I'm talking to a guy who's 55 years old. He's slightly grooming me. But the mum doesn't mind because, look, she's come home. She's de-stressing. She's ordering the Uber Eats. She's having that big glass of wine. She's done the bottle and a half. She's having a bottle and half of wine every day just to relax, just to be sane. And she does it all again. So this is a way for her to cope. Oh, it's easy. Come on, just give him the phone. Give him the phone. He's 6 months old. Yeah, just give him the phone. He's crying. Just give him the phone. It will shut up, innit? And then that's the easiest thing to do, rather than, hey, baby, what are you crying for? Do you want me to wind you? Like, do you want me to do some love? Do you want some interaction? No, give him the phone. Just shut up, man. Give him the phone.
I think peer pressure comes into it as well with the kids. So my eldest, who is 12, I finally reneged, I think it was about a month ago, and got him his first phone.
Boo!
But it's that's all it is. It's a phone, so he can phone and text on it, but it's not got any Wi-Fi or data on the contract.
All you
or
need
anything.
is Snake.
It's got a camera and he can phone and text, and it's the only reason I wanted it was because he's now at the stage where he's going off on his own on the weekend and knocking around with his mates. So I thought, well,
that's
he can always ring me
as a father, Phil. That is an excellent thing to do. And look, you're proactive. Now, look, I speak to people all the time, and they're quote unquote switched on. They're not even doing that as a minimum. They're not even saying, look, I gave into the peer pressure. He's 12 now. And I thought, you know what? All right, then I'll give you a phone, but I ain't giving you one of those ones. You're going to get a phone to call and text. That's it. They're not even doing that. Like, it has to start somewhere. When your 12-year-old becomes 22, 25, settles down, because of the things you're doing now, Phil, he's going to know, like, okay, look how the world is now. Look, when I was growing up, the conversations we're having now, he'll be sitting in his house with his mates saying, shit, man, look at this stuff. I'm glad my dad didn't give me the phone that all my rest of my friends had, because look where they are now.
The problem is, though, when he goes to a job interview and his boss has a master's degree in Roblox, and he can't communicate with him.
in his social media manager.
Yeah,
position.
he's got 0 media points.
And that's the point, is that if you go sort of this route that I'm doing, it gets to a stage where you finally give them access, or you feel them mature enough where they're getting hit all at once with everything. Then, whereas we grew up with it. You know, I got my first phone, I think, when I was 16. It was like one of them Nokia 3210s or something. And we sort of grew up with the internet. And as it went from dial-up...
Phil?
Yeah?
When you got that Nokia 3310, there was no internet on that.
No.
It was just text messages and
was
what you call it. You
There
had
was
to
WAP,
you had
I
to get
remember
your AOL disk or your PlusNet to gain access, or alternatively, you would buy the Nokia Commander, which would run you £1,000+. I'm pretty sure you didn't have that shit back then, to be able to have that internet access, which was very, very basic.
I don't know, because Phil's mum and dad once tidied up his bedroom and found 500 quid in change underneath all the money on these.
Really? Who told you that?
You did.
God, I remember that. 500 quid.
It wasn't really 500 quid. It's about 100 quid, I think.
Oh, I can believe that.
You guys are ballers, man. I need to move up north. They say, up north, you know, they're really friendly up there, but they've had it tough.
Oh, man,
Don't give away our secrets.
I had 100 quid in change,
Listen,
man.
guys.
Northern
These
powerhouse.
guys have stately homes up north. They've got a crew of bloody guys. Look, I've met the team. You know, there's about 16 guys behind them. You know, they've got the lighting going on. They're getting cups of tea brought to them. It's all an illusion, guys.
Yep.
It is Winterfell. Here we are in the grounds. Yeah, the frozen north.
Stay away,
The
Southerners.
grounds. Are you letting the groundsmen have Christmas Day off or?
No.
No, blooming livestock won't look after themselves, will they?
They don't celebrate Christmas.
No, they don't. I don't think he can read that one, can he?
No, don't tell him what Christmas is. He'll just get excited.
We're doing a big show next week on the origins of Christmas. What do you make of the whole Christmas thing, Noble?
Oh, Christ, Mass. Remember, X unknown, X marks the spot, Mass. It's interesting, that is. Yeshua HaMashiach, aka Jesus in the English tongue, or Yeshua. Apparently, he was born on the 25th of December. It would have been very cold in Bethlehem. Very, very cold. Historians say he was not born. He would have been born August through to September at the very, very, very latest. So if we look at that, that tells you we're not celebrating Christ's Mass, aka the birth of the Savior of the world, as he's deemed. It's a pagan festival that the Catholic Church ceased to convert with the view, as many of the other festivals, All Hallows Eves, and then Halloween, All Saints Day. Like, they said, we want this new thing that we've created. We want it to spread far and wide. So if we can bring customs and cultures which are similar to the other pagan festivals which are taking place, we can get them involved in it, and then slowly but surely they will say, yeah, we're Christian, we're Catholics, we're Roman Catholics, we're Baptists, moving on down the chain. Yeah, it's all, and that's the origins per se in a condensed format. But then today it's all about commercialism.
It's
Before it was control.
Absolute Christ washing, the whole thing, isn't it? Like exactly what you say, pasting over the pagan festivals. Because
co-opted.
How else are you gonna, get the masses under your flag?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because there's no mention in the Gospels or in the epistles of the 25th of December. There's no date.
Nothing.
No date given.
Nope.
No year. There's various clues in different Gospels. One says, it was in the reign of. Well, they tie it to Herod, and another one ties it to. Was it Quirinus? The
Krampus.
Krampus. I think it was Quirinus.
That's another story. That is.
It was the legate in Syria or Judea. I can't remember which. But there's no like, this was it. Year 1, 25th of December.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a big deal breaker to me. Just because I understand why the Romans would want to co-opt or move a Christian festival so it coincides with Saturnalia, so that it would, we don't have to change the public holidays then.
Yeah.
Everyone gets the same days off.
Efficient.
Yes.
Yeah. So to me, that doesn't detract from like the nativity in any sense for me. It's just the way the world has always worked.
Whoa, Phil, let me stop you there, kind sir. Saturnalia was to get drunk and have sex naked, right?
Well, it was like a role reversal. So your slaves would be the ruler of the house, and the paterfamilias would act like the slave for the week or however long it was.
Yeah, but wasn't that later on? Though? That was
debauchery.
later on. The first part, I may be incorrect, and I may be like mixing up the pagan festivals. But I thought the initial Saturnalia was a celebration, quote unquote, air quotes. But it was a drunken sex orgy in essence.
Yes, there was a component of free love.
We need to bring this back.
Damn straight.
But the thing is, we're talking about, if we say the history of Saturnalia went from, if we said 400 BC to 400 AD, roughly, that's 800 years. That's a lot of time for things to change, to mutate, different things to metastasize, different cultural things. And the Roman Empire would have been importing different ideas from across the empire, different influences. It was a cultural melting pot, just like the world is today.
What were the population levels back then? Because
I think 1 million people lived in Rome.
If you wanted to, increase your populace under your empire, you'd certainly have sort of orgiastic festivals. And you think if there was a population crash nowadays, that's the way they'd bring that sort of thing back and ban contraception.
Maybe they're going to do that in South Korea. Because they're going to go extinct within a couple of generations. Have you seen it in the news?
Yeah.
I know about the birth rate,
Yeah, South Koreans will be extinct very soon unless they do something quick, sharp.
Seoul Sex Festival
Dramatically.
2025.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something. What do you think's causing all the infertility, Noble?
Laziness.
Because it's not just a South Korean phenomenon.
No,
it's
no,
happening
no.
across the
It's a
sort
global.
of
It's a
developed
global
world.
thing.
Do you think it's happening in what do we call them? Sub-Saharan Africa, South America? Is it just like a developing country?
Mainly, you're hitting the nail there. You're hitting the nail, and I'll drive it further through. It's global. It's affecting everybody globally, but it's the developing countries. Now, what's the difference between a developing country? And I hate these terminology. It's all stupid.
Yeah, I know. I was tripping over myself trying to say it because they're just lines on a map at the end of the day. They don't mean anything to me.
Who drew these lines, sir? Who drew these lines?
I think developed is like the north of England and developing is like the south of England.
HS2. Let's not even get into that.
What a shit storm that is. Fuck me.
Fuck you. They just look. Oh man, they're just fleecing us. They just have someone turn up at the door, in uniform, saying, "Look, just give us £1,000 now, man. Look, this is what they've told us we need to get. Just give us that." Pardon self. That would be more genuine. But no. What we're going to do is we're going to tax you twice at the pump. We're going to put 20% VAT on your bloody food, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to raise the prices of your gas, utilities, everything. We're literally raping you. And then when you're paying, when we're repaying you for your energy, for your life force, which you've utilized for 30 plus hours per week, you're not going to have much of that left. And when you're sitting at home, there's going to be an advertisement with a poor donkey with 1,000 bricks on his back. There'll be another advertisement straight after that with a poor, brown child with flies all over his mouth and stuff. We need water. Just donate this. Blah 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 blah. Oh, why are they in the state that? Why do I need to be funding all of these people? The homeless, Salvation Army, the blind people, them, the dogs. Let's RSPCA. We got a little fluffy dog here. We need to help him. So where's our money going?
Flights to Rwanda.
Potholes
That's where it's
everywhere.
going.
We're sending money to Ukraine. We're sending money to Israel. We're giving Rwanda hundreds of millions of pounds. Huh? It's
It's easy to spend when it's not your money, though.
Oh yeah,
It's
blank
like
checkbook, isn't it? Oh,
easy to
how much
lose
do you want
as
again?
well.
Taylor?
Easy to lose as well.
Oh well, we saw that with the COVID stuff, with all those contracts. Michelle Mone was in the papers again today, saying she was sorry, she was mistaken. That her
How much
when
did she
said
make? 100 million was it or something?
small beans, man. Considering Test and Trace was 40 billion. She made a couple of dozen million or something with her husband's firm. But the amount of money that just disappeared into that black hole was crazy, man. And you think, well, God, if you could actually use that money wisely, you could actually do something good with it.
Yes.
It's now a good time to give away the PayPal link for donations to the Irish Inquisition.
Well, at least one thing we can say is we won't spend it on useless PCR tests or something.
Yeah, we won't lose it.
Monorail.
Monorail.
Wow.
Yeah, can we have a monorail from the studio to the front gate?
Yeah,
So we don't-
Exactly.
we don't-
Listen to the ballers talk. We're into the minds of ballers right now. Some real high rollers, man. We need a monorail.
It's a real trek, like from the gates of the grounds to the studio. We don't want to be gated. It's pissing down today.
It was.
I can imagine. It was first thing. Absolutely shitting it down, man.
The gate was particularly swollen this evening as well, so it took a while to bolt it shut.
The golf buggies just don't cut it.
No.
They're not enclosed, are they?
Yeah, it doesn't.
You have to get Jeeves or Jeffrey to make sure that they, that the buggies are all charged up. So and maybe even change to the other tread of tires if it's muddy. So
You just can't get the staff though today these days.
No, they're demanding rights.
As soon as he learned to read, oh my God.
I know, yeah.
I've been trying to get him to
You've
sort
introduced
out
a
the
reading
drainage.
program, have you?
Been trying to get him to sort out the drainage in the lower field for blooming weeks now.
Ah,
He just never gets around to it.
it's
No,
your fault,
Ted.
Phil. You left the bookshelf open.
I can read. Johnny 5 is definitely alive now.
Where did that come from? Channel 5. What are you looking for? You're looking for a book?
I was just going to try and pick out a funny book title for his first book.
Oh.
Ted to have read. Yeah.
There's no funny books in here.
No.
No. Are you reading anything at Minute Noble?
I'll tell you what I have recently got my hands on. Oh God, what's the name of it? Neil Sanders. Neil Sanders. I always call him Saunders. Neil Sanders. He's done the mind control books and all that. He's done 2 volumes of that. He's also done a book about Manson. Very thick and detailed.
The
very
Britpop
detailed.
band. The Brit Wide Open Space.
Wide Open Space,
That
yeah.
Manson.
Wow.
Oh my God! Have I missed something? There's a band called Manson.
Such a niche
Yeah.
reference, yeah.
Yeah. I used to like Manson back in the late 90s.
I bet you like
Hey,
menswear as well.
shit! The dude who looks like he's dead, the vampire-looking guy.
Oh, that's Marilyn Manson.
Oh, that's Marilyn Manson. No, Manson. I'm in a wide open space. D minor, D minor, D minor.
All the minors.
A. Guitar players, if you want to learn it. It's D
Wonderful
minor, 7 and
rendition.
8.
Wonderful rendition. It's not ringing bells though.
No, you're talking about Charlie Manson, are you?
Indeed, good old Charlie. Good old Helter Skelter. It's gonna be Helter Skelter. Come in.
So he's written
That
a
was-
book about Manson, the Manson
Yes.
murders.
The Manson murders. Yes, indeed.
Was that the one you were reading?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Very detailed. Very detailed. Unlike some. Obviously a lot of references as well. Neil's very he's very talented in regards to the level of research and detail that he brings forth in his books as well, and he's got a very good memory as well. Don't necessarily like the direction he's going now, but each to their own. And we're all on our journeys, and we all grow and develop and stuff. But yeah, he's an excellent author. Excellent author.
What direction is he going in now?
He I'll send you a link. We had a very interesting, spirited discourse relating to the zombie apocalypse and stuff.
Yeah, I think I might have listened to that. Has he started a podcast? Does he do a podcast?
Yes.
With another guy?
With another gentleman.
Yes. Right. I did hear that. That's a few months back, isn't it?
Yes.
I heard that one.
Well, no, well, the podcast itself that we did together was probably at least coming up to about a year old.
All right. I definitely heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I had quite a few comments and surprised, like, wow, he's changed a lot, hasn't he? But again, the thing is, we all grow in this. You know, some people dip in for a minute or two, a couple months. Some people are in it for years, and they just, you know, other people get to a point. And of course, there's been quote unquote conspiracies where I've looked at and I thought, yes, that's you know, like the holographic planes and stuff. That had quite a lot of weight to a point, and in some ways it still has an element of potential truth to it. But am I hanging the whole basket on that? No, not at all. Am I going with pre-explosives being wired in there based upon people saying that there was lots of renovation works being done? I'm not necessarily hanging my basket on that anymore. I'm more hanging my basket on directed energy weapon.
Really?
Is it Judith Woods who did excellent breakdown on that?
Oh, I've not seen that.
There was one on Doctor Who this weekend. Sorry.
There was what?
A directed energy weapon on Doctor Who. Sorry,
wow.
Segue. Off the
Wow.
cliff.
That shit's still going. Doctor Who.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
God.
I'm not sure you'd like it nowadays.
I never liked it when I was a kid. I remember watching. I watched
it's a bit
few
too grown up, I think.
when it was Sylvester McCoy was the Doctor. I watched a few
I
then.
can sort of
yeah.
remember that, yeah.
Yeah, but I was.
And then it died after that, didn't it? It got took off.
There was a big gap.
Yeah, and then it came back
Yeah.
in it. Was it in the noughties, Ben?
2002, I think.
Wasn't that a singer in it? Billy, remember little Billy?
Yeah, she
was
was
she in it or
yeah.
something?
The doctor's mate.
Because she wants
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Sing.
Yeah,
That's good.
Christopher Eccleston was the rebooted.
Do you remember Paul McGann being Doctor Who?
I think I might do actually. Yes.
Yeah. That was, I don't
Wait.
know if he was after Sylvester McCoy or he just did a TV movie or something.
Right.
Whovians will be in touch to
Yeah.
correct us.
Yeah, yeah.
It's interesting you say the name Paul McCann. He was my manager.
The Paul McGann.
No, not the Paul
With
McCann.
Mel,
But imagine that.
Your manager?
Jeez.
Managing what?
When I was doing sales
The
back in the
CIA.
mid-2000s,
Wow.
What were you selling?
and I always used to think of Doctor Who. Oh, what was I selling?
Yeah.
What was I selling back then? I think it was I think I was doing IT training. So you know, like CCNA and AA Plus, Microsoft certified gold partnerships and basic
Jesus.
Microsoft packages and all that kind of crap.
God. So you were working for Gates of Hell.
Yeah.
You were selling.
Yes, exactly.
Uh-oh.
I didn't even think of that. Indirectly, it wasn't a Microsoft. It was a
taking Bill's
Microsoft
money.
partner, and we were a gold partner as well, paying
Wow.
thousands a year to be a gold partner. It was crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, indirectly, unfortunately, I have worked
He's-
for the Gates of Hell.
I think hasn't he pretty much backed off from Microsoft now?
Yeah. Well, except for the money.
Quite some time ago.
Yeah.
he
yeah.
gets-
Steve Ballmer,
Hmm.
isn't it?
After the investigation, remember in the was it 90s or early thousands, he had the government investigations of all of the
Yeah, the
wrongs he was doing.
antitrust.
Remember that?
That's when he got cream pied, wasn't it? Outside court.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm
I've
thinking.
not
Yeah,
seen that
man.
video on the internet.
Yeah, and then after that, that's when the PR came in and he started wearing these pastel soft jumpers, and they changed
Exactly.
his image completely from being this corporate
Yes.
fucking shithead who would basically take your IP, repackage it, bend you
It
over,
was awful,
fuck you up the
wasn't
arse.
it? Yeah.
Steal your software, and until the lawsuits and the pie in the face, and then it's he came out and
When did
the full on philanthropist.
That's what I was going to say. So
With the pastel jumpers.
when did the foundation start? Around the same time.
Must have been.
Yes.
Phil, you need a
And you-
foundation.
Regeneration.
Yeah.
Regenerated.
And remember, gentlemen, the foundations are all an excellent, way to divert funds without paying taxes. Remember,
He said
tax write-off.
He said a couple of years ago, like vaccines were the best investment he ever made. It was the return on investment's massive. It's fantastic money.
Better than the licenses he used to have. You remember the licenses thing? I'm sure we discussed this on one of our first interactions. The incredible mind of the gates of hell to say, you know what? I can sell this product. I can put updates on it. I can put updates, and I can charge them for the updates. Shit! And they've got it so perfect now that you don't even need a disc. They've got it to a point when you buy a laptop, it doesn't even come with the effing Word documents and all that stuff on there. You've got to buy it. You've got to buy a subscription, a monthly subscription. Alternatively, you spend. I think I bought a professional one. I think it was like 350 or 400 odd quid. Yeah. So it's a lifetime one. I don't need to update. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm not paying $6.99 or some kind of stupid shit like that per month.
I think it was more because I was looking into it for my son.
It's about 60 quid a year. Microsoft Office.
What is the definition of ownership? I do have something. I do have a problem with buying something, purchasing something, and not owning it.
But you should be happy about that, Ben. Have you not been told?
You will own nothing.
Oh, God.
And you'll be happy.
Oh, I've opened a door.
You have to be happy. You're meant to be happy. We all know that in 20 years, you will rent a whisk. And an Amazon drone will come and drop off your whisk for 24 hours.
No. They won't drop it off. It'll hover over your bowl of whatever you want whiskey. Do the task.
And piece off.
Collect the money and go away,
Yeah. You have a real problem with not owning physical. Do you mean like what are you buying that you don't own?
So, the example I've got in mind is Netflix. So you buy Netflix and then it disappears. So I can't watch a certain film like Elf. Say I want to watch Elf. It's Christmas.
You know it. I'm glad you said that, Ben. Elf is a classic for listen. It's a classic for all year round, but especially this time of year.
Well, you can't watch it unless you've got Now TV.
I know it's a Sky thing.
You got to buy the things individually. It's like 2 or 3 years ago, I had to buy off Amazon National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation because you don't know what platform it's going to be on year to year. So it's
going back to the old school. We've got to revive. We've got to go up into the lofts and trustfully the moisture. The differences in temperature haven't destroyed your audio or DVD media. Get that shit out of the loft, dust off the old DVD player, and you know what? Another thing is,
I want to watch Elf, not Debbie Does Dallas.
No, we're not talking. That's under the bed, man. We on about. I recently upgraded my my slap top, as I refer to it as. And I went into the big store because remember we have very limited choice. Remember you think, okay, if I'm gonna buy some kind of technology, I can go to Tandy, I can go to Miller Brothers, I can go to Dixon's. We're gonna buy electricals. What? Okay, so if you want to leave your house, okay, you either go to
Apollo
PC World, or you go to Corey's. Oh, and wait a minute, gentlemen, they're owned by the DGS group. Oh, okay. Oh, we don't have Commented anymore as well. So anyway, I mean, one of either of these stores, because it doesn't matter where you go, the price is going to be the same, even though they've got different labels on them. So I said, I want to, I need this laptop. I need it to do this. Like, this is the like, what do I need to spend to be able to do these kind of capabilities? And she's like, blah blah blah. And they kept on pushing me to the Apple product, and I said, look, I don't want anything to do with Apple. Okay. Just give me something Microsoft orientated. Look, if you gave me your phone now, I wouldn't even know how to operate it. I wouldn't know how to unlock it. I wouldn't have to do anything with it. So I don't want to start learning how to use Apple products. Just give me something I know. Cool, great. So she shows me a couple. Like, okay, yeah, this is 1,500. This is blah blah blah. I'm like, do I really need to spend this amount? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm like, I'm picking it up and I'm looking. I'm like, so where's the DVD drive?
Oh God.
And she looked at me and she said, what? I said, you don't put, so you can put this in and you can like record your stuff or you can watch movies. No, they don't have them in them kind of things anymore.
Old man.
No.
Yeah.
Some of them used to have 2 disk drives.
Yeah, in a like a desktop. Yeah,
Could
you'd have
burn
multiple,
them.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You could get an
disc.
Omega zip drive, 100 megabytes of data at your
Wow.
fingertips. Do you remember
Crazy.
floppy disks?
Crazy
Oh, yeah.
numbers.
3.1 inch, is it? 3.14?
3.14,
Pi?
Yep.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
344 was it? I don't know. 1.4 would have been well better. Do you remember the floppier discs, the 5 1/4 inch ones?
Yeah, the giant squares like this.
BBC Micro, and there was a little lever to keep the disc in.
Yeah, that's what I thought you was talking about. So what ones were you just referring to before that?
There was some little square
Floppy
ones with the
discs were
sliding.
Sliding
about
thing on.
3 point something inch. If they were about the actual disc was about 4 inch square. But
Yeah.
And you had a little silver catch at the top,
That's
right?
the one.
that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
C://
Yes.
run floppy.
Run2.exe.
No. The DOS and all that. You see, like the good old days, man. The good old days. Like I was 14 when I first got my mobile phone. And obviously it was on contract because it wasn't pay as you go back then. Pay as you go only came into effect as of 97, 98, that sort of time.
All right.
Oh yeah, pay as you go you couldn't get pay as you go phone. If you wanted a mobile phone, it had to be on contract.
Right.
Vodafone, Cellnet, or
Orange.
Orange /Hutchinson. Yeah, you had them as well.
Hutchinson, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then what was 1-to-1? Now
One.
obviously known as T-Mobile. They came in and they were the first ones because at this point I was in the telecommunications industry. So we started to get all of the bloody phones and shit.
Did you leave school early or something?
So do you mean you were selling hooking mobile phones out the back of a Vauxhall Cavalier?
Nah, man, this is legit, matey. This is legit.
I was in the telecoms industry. Better call Saul.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I had a few containers here and there arrive, gentlemen. We say less. We say less.
So Colin,
But
you
yeah,
got your first first pay as you go. That was it, was it?
Yes, £199, and that would get you a what was it? It was like a Motorola with a pull-out aerial, and it came with £10 air credit or some kind of shit.
Wow.
And think we're talking 19. Actually, wait a minute. It wasn't 90. Wait a minute. Yeah, 90. Yeah, 98. It would have been 98. That's a lot of fucking money. 199 quid for a phone, and not many people had mobile phones. Not many people at all. Not like how it is now. If a phone would ring on the bus, everyone would look around like, "What the hell? A phone's ringing? Who's got enough money to have a damn phone?" And think about it. I'm 14, and I'm on a packed bus with all kind of undesirables. My phone's going off. I'm putting it out. Yeah, blah. And I'm on the bus. I'm not too far away. Blah blah blah. It was a fun and interesting time growing up, man.
I remember.
Didn't know that I wasn't old enough actually to have the phone though.
Pages.
Yeah, pages.
Do you remember there was a short-lived craze about pages before?
My
mobile
wife
phones came in?
had a pager in the 90s.
I never had one, but
No, I never had one.
I didn't see the point of him.
My mate Errol always tells me the story of he was driving home from work on a Friday afternoon, and I can't remember which bridge he was going over, but the office paged him, and he just grabbed it and threw it out the window into the river. A base segment Chad. But yeah, I remember being maybe 18, something like that, when all the mobile phones arrived in the office at work, and each engineer was given an electrician was given a mobile phone. Apprentices didn't get them, obviously.
No,
you're a bitch.
Of course not.
You're known as a bitch.
Crazy frog.
You're either called bitch or a worse word beginning with C. That was what you were called. I remember I think it was my first day. My first day as an apprentice and being called a cunt for the first time. It's like, wow. Oh,
I've
get used to this.
Yeah. Welcome to the workforce.
Yeah, 3 years to go.
Shit. Shit.
Oh,
That you either sink or swim in that environment.
No,
Shit.
yeah. I wouldn't have been able to handle that, I don't think.
Yeah, you say that, but you just get used to it. You just get used to be called a bitch. You got to laugh it off, man.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, I suppose.
You laugh it off if you get.
Yeah, but how much laughing off can you do though? Like, was you going home at the end of the day with your face just aching, thinking, "Fuck, shit, all I'm doing is just smiling and laughing at these fuckers. They're just ribbing me all day."
Yeah, you got to learn to give it back. You see,
That's the key.
Yeah, and try and be funny. If you're funny, then people stop picking on you.
So archaic.
I've always found, well, not always, in my youth, I've always found just punching someone in the face stops all that shit.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't. There was big men there, big men with hammers. So, gotta be a bit careful.
And pliers.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
It's
what do you call it? Practical jokes. That was one of the upsides. Lots of if you're on a big job site, there was lots of practical jokes.
That's some safe fun.
Safe fun, yeah. Like a brown sauce on the inside of a hard hat. It was one of my favourites.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah. yeah. The best one I saw done to an apprentice was took all his tools out of his toolbox and then screwed the toolbox to the floor, put all the tools back in the middle of the floor, and then shouted and said, "Oi, twat, move your fucking toolbox!" And he ran up and grabbed it and just went, ugh, went flying.
The fun we had.
I think you'd go to a tribunal if you did something like that.
Oh, you couldn't do it. No, I bet it's really sad and boring working on building sites these days. Big sites.
Do you think?
Yeah, because health and safety, like what I do, like you can't do none of that shit no more.
Oh no! I remember like the last big job I worked on was Leeds the new oncology unit, new oncology unit at St James's in Leeds, and this is back in 2007 maybe or 2008.
Wow!
And they used to give out yellow cards for people, like if they caught you not wearing a hard hat or not wearing gloves, they give you a yellow card.
Obviously, you wear hard hats now, don't you?
I've not worn a no. There's nothing to, nothing spoiling in here.
How to operate OBS?
Tinfoil
So you don't miss the hour induction before sites.
It was a freaking day. It was a day of an induction on that job.
Oh my god!
And if you got 2 yellow cards, that was your punishment. You had to redo the induction.
Yes.
Was it
Oh shit!
unpaid as
Yeah, he's coming back now. Yeah, I remember that shit.
Grim.
It's all gonna be robots now. It's all robots. They've shipped them in from China. They're just waiting in a basement somewhere, and they're gonna deploy them.
Oh no, you're getting confused with the Terracotta Army.
Oh, is that next year, 2025?
Oh, man.
When we're 6 feet underwater because of
global climate warming
boiling. No, it's global boiling. Remember now, it's not climate change. It's boiling.
Global climate
boiling
change.
Because I was thinking, gentlemen. I mean, we're in usually a dull England, but I've noticed how bright it's been every day. I've noticed the temperatures, like we're getting like 20, 35 degrees every day and stuff. I'm thinking, I thought we're supposed to be in winter, with this global boiling thing. I'm thinking maybe it's a good thing. So we don't get no snow anymore. I haven't seen any snow. It hasn't been cold last week or anything, to our international listeners. It's a heat wave over in England at the moment. You know, Klaus Schwab and what's the other guy? Kerry and
John.
and Charles.
Melonhead.
They're right. We've got to do something for the environment. It's going to take more than all of the wealth of the worlds and the corporations. So we're going to need more of that. See, what we need to do is I'll tell you what, guys, right? 10% of what we don't already have, let's just give that to stop oil, because remember, we got to stop using the oil. I've already put my order in for an electric vehicle, even though I can't afford it. So I'm going to do that. I'm no longer wearing clothes, because remember, oil is used in the production of clothes. So what I'm now doing is growing a load of hemp in a field. I'm going to make hemp clothing, and I'm going to use I've contacted a food manufacturer, and I'm going to use some of the yellow dye beetles, some of the red dye beetles. I'm going to use them to dye the clothing, you see.
Right.
See, I want the global boiling to stop, gentlemen.
Well, I'm sure
I really do.
All you can do is your bit, Noble. You know, if you do your bit, you can sleep at night.
You can stop taking all those private jets
Yeah.
backwards and forwards to the Caribbean.
The private jet thing, gentlemen. I mean, because like there was this famous evangelical preacher in America, and he said he doesn't like to be on a tube full of demons. You remember that famous clip?
Yeah.
I mean, that is the bad part of going on holiday. He's right.
It's the truth, isn't it? Yeah, fuck. 7 hours on 8 hours going Caribbean, and it's not, and don't get me wrong, it's not going to be full of demons, because there's going to be a lot of demons on that damn plane, right?
Yeah, like 50%.
Yeah, 50% demons.
Possibly 60, depending on where you're actually flying from. If it's Heathrow, I won't even give a percentage on that. But yeah, there's a lot of demons on those planes, so we have to remain utilizing the private planes, gentlemen. We have to make a pact on that now. Private planes all the way.
Right.
Yes.
Got you.
And I'll just offset it with my my pine forest.
Yeah, plant some trees.
There's a lot of grass on the grounds here at Amish HQ. So
Yeah, I think we can manage. We can plant some trees. And
can we get another
offset.
private jet though? 4 seems a bit excessive.
Okay, all right then. I'll do you a favor. I'll do you one better. If you can put those bags over your livestock, over their rear ends, so we can collect some of that CO2.
We say
Go for it,
livestock.
man.
Do you mean the gardener and the?
Yeah.
That's harsh. That is harsh, gentlemen.
Got to catch the cow farts
Yeah.
That's it.
and
We
find
gotta catch that shit.
something to do with it, with the cow farts. But I've heard it's the burps are worse than the farts.
Oh.
It's not so much the
gosh.
rear, the back end. It's the front end.
I mean, I prefer the flesh, to be honest with you, of a cow.
Very tasty.
Yeah.
Very tasty. Okay, I've got something that might give us some extra spending money every year, and it could be a global success. We put the cows, all of the livestock, in those big see-through balls that people just roll down the hills and all that shit. Whoa!
absorbing.
We put them in that. The CO2 is then trapped in there. We give them like a little hole so they can start eating the grass. Voila. The farmers, they don't need to kill all of the livestock. How about that? Come on.
Right,
Yeah.
and methane is combustible, so when you're done with the cow, you just torch it. Bang. It's
I was thinking more of a human centipede scenario where you only have one front end and one back end to worry about.
That would be it. That would be a bovine centipede.
Tube steak.
The bovine centipede. Yeah.
Well, there you
Just
Yeah.
have a row of milkers.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have come up with so many good ideas, which obviously,
Solutions, yeah.
gentlemen,
I know.
and solutions, this is it. But
Yeah.
it's only relegated to us as a small collective. I think maybe next year we should challenge Richie Sunak and this governmental system, and maybe we should actually run the UK. I think we might do a better job, guys. What do you reckon?
I mean,
it's a lot of cows to sew together, but yeah.
I'll tell you what, you order the Zorb balls.
Right.
You do that bit.
okay,
I'll sew
yeah.
the cars together. Do it on weekends. If we start now, we might be done before global boiling happens.
Yeah.
This is it.
It's a
This
plan.
is it. And then maybe what we could even do as well in 2024, we can dig up Captain Planet.
He's our hero.
Gonna take pollution.
Down
Down.
to 0.
Zero. That's it.
Yeah, the
Let's
messaging
just do it,
starts
man.
early, doesn't it?
I think with his help, we can You know what? Actually, look, I've got a huge light bulb over my head and it's blinking profusely at the moment. Let's just get Captain Planet. Forget all
Al
these
Gore.
weirdos. You'll eat bugs and be great. Captain Planet is gonna listen. If we think that he's all crazy now, Captain Planet, give him 6 months, we're back to how it was in 1980. You know what I mean?
Why haven't he brought Captain Planet back? I would have thought that would be a shoe-in, like on the telly.
Because the kids just watch streamers playing Fortnite now.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, that was
Oh
for
my
our
God.
that program was for our generation. Times have moved on.
Oh, boo times.
I mean, speaking of the
All right.
time moving on, Noble, we've blown over an hour already, man.
Time flies.
I know.
I won't say what I normally say, but yeah, time flies, isn't it?
Are you ready to wrap the shit up?
Listen, you're driving this train, man. I'm just getting off at the next station. So if the next station's coming up, sir,
I think it was platform.
mind the gap.
I'm the guy.
Platform 10 3/4, is it?
13 and...
13 3/4,
Oh, I don't
yeah.
know, it's,
Get off at that one and go to Hogwarts. Noble,
No.
tell
We're not
every-
going Hogwarts. We're not going Hogwarts. Sorry, we're not going Hogwarts, gentlemen. We have passed that stage. I've got my big boy pants on now. Got boxers.
hemp big boy pants.
Well done.
Yeah, man. No white fronts. No white fronts and
very
shit.
itchy.
Oh dear. Noble, tell everyone where they can find you and keep up with your podcast and whatnot.
All major podcast platforms, CFR Network. I've actually, gentlemen and listeners, do go over to my new Twitter account. It's CFR Network _. I'll make sure I put the links in the description. The 187. The 187, you see, when you're high and time's flying by. The Noble 187 on Instagram and also on Twitter. CFR Sports on Twitter and Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, the wonderful, youthful TikTok.
Oh, we'll have to follow you
CFR
on there.
Network.
We've
Oh, you guys are on there as well? Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
link up on there most definitely.
So I've got you at the Noble 187. Is that the main one on Twitter?
That's the one, yes.
Is that your beach, Noble? I assume so.
Don't tell everybody. Come
It's a bit
on, man.
small.
We talk about that kind of stuff off air, man. Back office. If you've got to tell, yes, that is my private beach, my private island. Yeah, it's not too far away from Richard Branson and stuff, but like, let's just keep that between me, you, and the listeners, okay?
Sound.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm getting a message in my ear from the producer that we're going to have to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Well, it's been great, Noble. Nice to speak to you again. And I'm sure we'll reconvene in 2024 at some point.
Yeah.
And as always, the links are in the show notes. So follow Noble's work and listen to his podcast, his YouTube and whatnot. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us again, Noble.
You're most welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah,
most
lovely.
welcome.
All right, folks, we're going to sign off this part. We'll be back very shortly for part 2. And we're going to be opening the phone lines.
Oh, wow.
We'll see what happens. All right.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Adios.
Adios.